My beloved child, welcome. You are not here by accident. You were led here, for my spirit has drawn you. Stay with me now, for I will reveal to you something most people never understand, something that can change the course of your life forever. For it is written, many are called, but few are chosen. But do you know why? Do you know why so many miss the life I created them for? Listen closely, because what I am about to tell you will not only explain why most lose their way, but also show you how you can walk in my perfect plan, beginning today. Before we begin, I ask you to share this message with someone who needs my light, my hope, and my peace. Leave your heart's cry in the comments below, that others may join you in prayer, and remain connected to this place, for I am raising up a family of faith here. Now hear me, child. The greatest tragedy is not when a man dies young. The greatest tragedy is when a man lives his whole life, yet never lives the life I sent him to live. Do you see, so many chase after their own dreams, their own desires, their own plans, and yet, in all their running, they miss me. They miss the one purpose that would have given meaning to all their days. And I tell you this now with love, not with condemnation. For I did not come to condemn the world, but that through me, the world might be saved. I came so you could live. Truly. Live, not just exist, not just struggle, not just survive, but overflow with life more abundant. But most do not see it. They are blinded by their own plans. They cling to what they think will bring them joy, and in doing so, they miss the joy I already prepared for them. And perhaps, beloved, you have felt this too. Perhaps you have wondered why life feels heavy, why your soul feels restless, why you feel far from the peace you long for. It is because my plan and your plan cannot both sit on the throne of your heart. Only one can reign, and many choose their own, not realizing they are stepping outside the very path of blessing I have set before them. But listen closely now, for I am not here to leave you in confusion. I am here to open your eyes, and if you will hear my words and hold them close, you will find yourself walking into the life you were always meant to live. Stay with me, for what I will share next may be the key you have been waiting for all your life. Do you remember the words I spoke through my prophet Jeremiah? For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. But my child, most never ask me what those plans are. They run ahead, they build their own dreams, they chase after fleeting desires, and then they wonder why they feel empty when they reach the top. Hear me. The reason most miss my plan is not because I hide it. No, I speak, I guide, I whisper, I nudge, I send signs, I place burdens, I stir desires that are holy and eternal. But few are still enough to listen. Few are humble enough to surrender. Few are willing to lay down their own plan to receive mine. And so they miss it, not because I was silent, but because their ears were filled with the noise of the world. Do you know why I said, "Be still and know that I am God"? Because in the stillness, you can finally hear me. In the silence, you begin to notice my voice, the voice that was speaking to you all along. But this world, oh, this world shouts. It pulls you into distraction, into endless striving, into endless comparison, into fear that you are missing out. And yet, the very fear of missing out is what causes many to miss the only thing that truly matters. Me, my child. I see the burdens you carry. I see how tired you are of trying to make life work in your own strength. I see how often you wonder if you are even on the right path. And I tell you this, you do not have to figure it out alone, for I am the good shepherd, and I lead my sheep. You are not abandoned in confusion. I long to guide you into green pastures, into still waters, into the peace your soul was made for. But here is the truth most do not realize. My plan is not always the easiest path, but it is always the right one. My plan is not always the fastest way, but it is always the surest. My plan is not always what you expected, but it is always what you needed. Do you remember when I called my disciples? I did not give them a full map. I simply said, "Follow me." And as they walked, step by step, the plan unfolded. That is how my plan works for you too. I rarely show you the whole picture at once, for if I did, your heart might not yet be ready. But I show you the next step, and when you obey, more is revealed. Yet many miss this because they demand the full blueprint before they will take a single step, and in their hesitation, they stay where they are, year after year, always waiting, always delaying, always wondering, and never moving. But you, beloved, do not have to live this way. You can step into my plan today. And here is the secret. My plan begins where your surrender begins. It is not found in striving, but in yielding. It is not found in controlling, but in releasing. It is not found in chasing, but in resting in me. Do you remember my words? Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. That is the order. Seek me first, and then the rest follows. But most reverse it. They seek all the things, and then wonder why they cannot find me. Child, you are not meant to live burdened by endless striving. You are meant to live carried by my grace. You are not meant to live in confusion about your purpose. You are meant to walk daily in my spirit, where even your ordinary moments become sacred steps in my plan. But let me ask you this, whose voice are you following? For there are many voices in this world. Voices of fear, voices of pride, voices of ambition, voices of temptation, and then there is my voice. The still, small voice that calls you by name. When you follow the wrong voice, you miss my plan. When you follow my voice, you will never be led astray. So how do you know it is me speaking? This is where many stumble. But I tell you this, my voice always aligns with my word. My voice brings peace, not confusion. My voice leads you into light, not darkness. My voice calls you to faith, not fear. And above all, my voice always draws you closer to me. But hear this warning: if you fill your ears only with the world, you will never recognize my whisper. If you fill your days only with noise, you will never notice my call. But if you make space for me, if you sit at my feet like Mary did, if you quiet your heart and open my word, you will hear me, and when you hear me, you will see the path I have prepared. Do not be deceived, my child. The enemy loves to distract you from my plan. He does not always come with open destruction. Sometimes he comes with subtle detours. A good idea that is not my idea. A comfortable choice that is not my choice. An opportunity that looks right but pulls you away from me. That is why you must test every path in my presence. For I said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Not a way among many, not one truth among others. I am the way, and any path that does not lead you closer to me is not my plan for you. My beloved, do you know what happens when you live in my plan? Even in trials, you have peace. Even in loss, you have hope. Even in weakness, you have strength. Because my plan does not depend on your power. It depends on my faithfulness. But do you know what happens when you live outside of my plan? Even in success, you feel empty. Even in riches, you feel poor. Even in celebration, you feel alone. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul? And I ask you now, which life will you choose? My child, the choice is always before you. Life or death, blessing or curse, my way or the world's way. And yet I do not force you, I invite you, for love does not control, love calls, love waits. Love whispers again and again until your heart turns to me. Do you remember when I stood outside Jerusalem and wept? I said, how often I wanted to gather your children together, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing, do you see, child? It was not that I would not, it was that they would not. I longed to gather them, but they refused, and so it is with many today. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with them, and they with me. But the door of your heart, I will not break it down. You must open it. Many miss my plan because they keep the door closed. They hear my knock, they feel my tug, they sense my presence, but they delay. They say, later, Lord, not yet. I'm too busy, too broken, too unworthy. But tomorrow is never promised. The only day you have is today. That is why my word says, today. If you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Do not wait. My beloved, do not delay your surrender. For every day outside my plan is a day of wasted grace, a day stolen by the enemy, a day that could have been filled with my peace. Yes, I can redeem lost time. Yes, I can restore wasted years. But why give the enemy even one more day? Why wander in circles when the path of life is right here before you? Child, listen. My plan for you is not only about great callings or mighty works. It is not only about what you will do. It is first about who you will become. For I desire your heart before I desire your hands. I long for your presence before your performance. I want your love before your labor. This is where so many miss it. They think my plan is only about assignments, achievements, positions, and tasks. But my plan begins with intimacy. For I said, abide in me, and I in you. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Did you hear that? Apart from me, you can do nothing. Yes, you can build. Yes, you can strive. Yes, you can gain wealth, applause, and recognition. But apart from me, it is nothing that lasts, nothing eternal, nothing that truly satisfies. But when you abide in me, even the smallest act becomes eternal. A cup of water given in my name, a prayer whispered in the night, a song of praise lifted in your pain, a step of obedience no one else sees. These are the treasures that heaven remembers. So, beloved, my plan is not just a destination, it is a relationship. It is not something you achieve one day, it is something you walk in every day. It is waking up and saying, Lord, not my will, but yours be done. It is laying down your pride and letting me lead you. It is choosing obedience in the little things, so I can trust you with greater things. Do you remember the parable I told of the talents? One servant received 5, another 2, another 1, each according to their ability. The first 2 were faithful, and they entered into the joy of their master. But the one who buried his gift, the one who did nothing, missed the blessing. Do you see? It was not about how much they had. It was about what they did with what I gave them. And so it is with you. You may think, Lord, I don't have much to offer. But I say, use what I have already placed in your hands. Speak the word of kindness. Pray for the one who is hurting. Serve in the place I have put you. Trust me with your little, and watch me multiply it into much. For my plan is never wasted. My plan always bears fruit, even if you do not see it right away. Sometimes you sow seeds that another will water. Sometimes you water what another has planted, but it is I who give the growth, and not one act of obedience in my name is ever forgotten. But hear me, beloved, there is a cost to my plan. Yes, there is joy, peace, blessing, and purpose, but there is also surrender, sacrifice, and letting go. I said, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. And many stumble at this. They want my blessing, but not my cross. They want my promise, but not my path. They want my reward, but not my refining. But you cannot have resurrection without the cross. You cannot know glory without surrender. You cannot live in my power while clinging to your own will. So I ask you now, child, what are you still holding on to? What dream, what fear, what wound, what sin, what plan of your own is keeping you from fully stepping into mine? Lay it down, do not be afraid. For anything you give to me, I will return in a greater way. Maybe not as you expect, maybe not in the same form, but always in a way that is better, higher, and eternal. Do you remember when Abraham placed Isaac on the altar? He did not know how I would provide. He only knew I had asked him to surrender, and when he obeyed, I not only gave him back his son, I also gave him a greater promise, a covenant of blessing that would flow through generations. This is my way. What you surrender, I redeem. What you release, I transform. What you give to me, I fill with my glory. So do not cling to what you cannot keep. Do not hold on to what will fade. Place it in my hands, and let me exchange it for what cannot be taken away. Beloved, hear my heart. I did not create you to wander aimlessly. I did not design you to stumble through life without direction. I did not send you into this world without purpose. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I set you apart. I called you by name. You are mine. The enemy will try to convince you otherwise. He will whisper, you are too broken. You have failed too many times. You have wasted too many years. You are unworthy of God's plan. But he is a liar. I am the Redeemer. I restore what is broken. I forgive what is stained. I heal what is wounded. I raise up what has fallen. And I still choose you. Yes, you. Even now, even here, even with all your flaws and failures, I say, my child, my hand is still upon you. My plan is still alive within you. For my gifts and calling are irrevocable. I do not change my mind about you, so rise up. Do not stay in shame. Do not stay in regret. Do not stay in fear. I am the God of new beginnings, and I am making all things new. My beloved child, do not let fear hold you back. Do not let shame keep you silent. Do not let the weight of yesterday rob you of tomorrow, for I have already gone before you. I have already prepared the way, and I will be with you in every step you take. Yes, the path of my plan may sometimes feel narrow. Yes, it may sometimes seem lonely. Yes, it may call you away from what is familiar. But do you not see? It is the only path that truly leads to life. The broad road is crowded, noisy, filled with voices promising ease and pleasure. But it leads to emptiness and destruction. The narrow way may be less traveled, but it is filled with my presence. And where I am, there is fullness of joy. Where I am, there is peace beyond understanding. Where I am, there is purpose that no man can take away. Do not be surprised, beloved, if the world does not understand your path. For my word says, the natural man does not understand the things of the Spirit, for they are foolishness to him. But you are not called to please the world. You are called to walk with me. And when you walk with me, even if others do not see it, you will shine like a light in the darkness. You will be as a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. Child, hear this carefully. In these last days, many will be distracted. Many will chase after false voices, false promises, false lights. They will run after wealth, after fame, after pleasures that cannot satisfy. And in doing so, they will miss my plan. But you, I have called you higher. I have called you to fix your eyes on things above, not on things below. I have called you to live with eternity in your heart. For the things of this world are passing away, but he who does my will abides forever. So be watchful, guard your heart. Do not be swept away by the currents of culture. Anchor yourself in my word, and you will not drift. Listen for my spirit, and you will not be deceived. Stay close to me, and you will not miss my plan. Do not say, Lord, I am too weak, for my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Do not say, Lord, I am too small, for I delight in using what the world calls small to do great things. Do not say, Lord, I do not know the way, for I am the way. Follow me, and you will find it. Remember Moses. He thought he was too slow of speech, too weak to lead. Yet I raised him up to deliver my people. Remember Gideon. He thought he was the least in his family, the smallest in his tribe. Yet I called him a mighty warrior. Remember David. He was overlooked by men, but chosen by me. Remember Mary. She was humble, young, unknown, but I placed within her the greatest gift the world has ever received. And now remember this, beloved, I choose you, not because of your strength, but because of my grace, not because of your perfection, but because of my love, not because you are worthy, but because I am worthy in you. So lift your head, do not walk in fear, do not walk in doubt. You are chosen, you are called, you are mine, my child. Lean in closer now, for I want you to hear my heart. The greatest way to fulfill my plan is not to strive harder, but to love deeper. Yes, love me with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. For all my law and all my plan are fulfilled in these two. If you love, you will obey me. If you love, you will serve others. If you love, you will shine brightly in a world that is growing darker. If you love, you will fulfill what I sent you to do. For, in the end, when you stand before me, it will not matter how much wealth you gained, how much applause you received, how many titles you carried. What will matter is this: did you love? Did you love me enough to trust me? Did you love others enough to serve them? Did you live not for yourself, but for the one who gave himself for you? This, beloved, is how you fulfill my plan, not in striving for greatness, but in walking humbly with your God, not in building your own kingdom, but in seeking mine, not in chasing after the approval of men, but in resting in the love of your Father. So now I call you. Come, lay down your burdens. Come, give me your plans. Come, place your life into my hands, and I will give you peace. I will give you purpose. I will lead you in paths of righteousness for my name's sake, And when storms come, I will be your shelter. When trials come, I will be your strength. When you feel lost, I will be your shepherd. And when your journey is finished, I will welcome you into everlasting joy, saying, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." So today, child, choose me, not tomorrow, not when life feels easier. Today, for today is the day of salvation. Today is the day to surrender. Today is the day to walk in my plan. Lift your eyes, take my hand, trust my voice, and walk with me. For I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. I bless you now with peace. I bless you now with courage. I bless you now with clarity to hear my voice. I bless you now with strength to take the next step. And I bless you with the assurance that you are loved, chosen, and called for such a time as this. Go, my beloved, fulfill my plan. And as you do, remember this always. I am with you, even to the end of the age.